Okay guys, good day. So today the purpose of this video will be the solution of your quiz. Okay, so let's first answer our problem number 1. So determine I1 and I2 in the circuit of figure 2.74. So anong gagawin natin dito? First things first, hanapin natin yung mga nodes. So we have our node A, node B, node C. Okay, so after natin ma-identify yung node, the second thing na pwede natin gawin is to select a node which wherein pwede natin kunin agad yung sagot. Okay, so pag nag-node A tayo, yung mga currents na papasok are 4 amperes, or I2 or I1 or negative 8 ampere. So therefore yung I1 palabas, so at I2 palabas din. So therefore dalawang unknown yung pwede natin makuha, pwede natin makuha ang equation. But in order to simplify the steps, let's try to have our KCL at node C. Okay, so let's have KCL at our node C, at node C. So pag nag-KCL tayo sa node C, mapapansin mo that yung current na palabas sa node C is our 4 ampere, so that is negative. Then papasok yung ating I2, that is positive, and then papasok yung ating 10 ampere, so this is positive, negative 10, which is equal to 0. So from here, I may say that I2 is equal to negative 4 plus negative 10 is equal to negative 14 equals 0. So therefore, our I2 is equal to 14 ampere. Okay, next. So after determining our I2, pwede rin nating makuha agad yung ating I1. Okay, how? Probably mag-KCL tayo sa node B. So KCL at node B. So pag nag-KCL tayo sa node B, mapapansin mo na may current tayo na papasok na palabas dito, which is our negative 8 ampere. So negative 8 ampere palabas yan, that is negative. Papasok yung ating I2, that is positive I1 I should say. And then palabas yung ating negative ampere. So this is negative 10, which is equal to 0. From here, I will have my I1, which is equal to negative 8 multiplied by negative 8 is equal to positive 8. And my I10, which is equal to positive 10 equals 0. So from here, I will have my I1, which is equal to 18, so negative 18. Oh, negative 118. So this is must be negative 18. Sorry. Okay, so 8 plus 10 is equal to 18. Transpose natin, this is equal to negative 18. That is our I1. Okay, next, in the figure 2.73, find I1, I2, I3 find I1, I2 and I3 in figure 2.73. Okay, so from here we have this is negative 1 ampere. Okay, so yan. So this is our I1, our I2, our I1, and our I3. Okay, so first things first, hanapin muna natin yung mga node na pwede natin gamitin, which will be the common node that connects either of the branches. So let's say this will be my node A. Meron pa node A dito, meron na tayong node B na talaga, at may node C na din. Let's say this will be my node D. Okay, which is hindi naman natin pwedeng gamitin kasi meron na agad yung mga current, which will give us 10 is equal to 10 ampere. Okay, so 0 yung current dyan sa node D. So pwede natin gamitin yung ating node E, which is papasok yung ating I2, papasok yung ating I3, palabas yung ating 5 ampere, which will give us two unknowns. Okay, so dito naman sa ating node A, okay, itong node A pwede natin siya gamitin. Okay, so let's say this will be our node A. So having our KCL at node A, KCL at node A. So KCL at node A. So if I will have KCL at node A, let's say ito yung code, ito yung node A ko. So yung 15 ampere ko palabas siya, this is negative 15. Then palabas yung ating I1, this is negative I1. And then, yung ating negative 6 ampere is palabas din. Okay? So, palabas siya. So, this is negative. So, negative 6 ampere equals 0. So, from here, I will have negative 15 less I1 plus 6 equals 0. So, transpose natin yung I1. I will have a value equal to negative 15 plus 6 is equal to positive 9. So, pag transpose natin yung negative 9, so pag transpose natin yung I1, we'll have a value of our I1 is equal to negative 9. Negative 19. So, this is negative 9. Okay? So, yan. Next, so nakuha na natin yung I1. Susunod natin gawin is solve for our, it's either I2 or I3. Probably, ang pinakamabilis nating makukuha dito is yung I3 kasi dito yung current natin. Okay? And also I2 sa node B. So, guided pala tayo ng problem. So, therefore, sa I3 muna tayo. Solving I3. Okay? Solving I3. So, solving I3, let's have KCL. Okay? So, KCL at node C. Okay? So, pag nag-KCL tayo sa node C, guys, napapansin mo na yung mga currents na nandito sa ating node C is yung ating 2 ampere na papasok, which is positive. And then yung ating 1 ampere na palabas, which is negative, which is equal to negative 1. So, negative multiplied by negative 1. And then yung ating I3, which is palabas, which is equal to 0. So, from here, I will have my I3 is equal to 2 less negative 1 is equal to 3. Tama ba? So, I3 is equal to 3. Okay? Next, doon naman tayo sa ating node B. So, mag-KCL tayo sa node B. So, KCL at node B. So, if I will have a KCL at node B, mapapansin mo yung 6 ampere ko papasok. This is positive. Positive. And then, yung ating I2 is palabas. So, this is negative I2. And then, yung ating 2 ampere is palabas. Ito. Diba? So, this is negative 2. Equals 0. So, from here, I will have my I2 is equal to negative 8 ampere. Okay? So, I2 is equal to negative 8 ampere. So, ngayon, gusto natin i-check kung tama ba tayo. So, let's have KCL at node E. Pag nag-KCL ako sa node E, mapapansin mo na yung I3 ka papasok, that is positive I3. Then yung I2 ka papasok, positive I2. And then yung negative 5 ampere equals 0. So from this, I will have my I2, which is equal to negative 8. Okay? So I2, which is equal to negative, okay, is equal to negative 8. Okay, so itong negative 5 natin dito, no, is palabas. So therefore, this must be negative multiplied by negative 5. Okay? Troubleshooting lang, sorry. So from that, I will have my I3, which is equal to positive 3 plus negative 8 plus, so negative multiplied by negative 5 is positive, equals 0. From here, I will have a value equal to negative 5 plus 5 equals 0, which is 0 equals 0. So therefore, tama yung dalawang current natin. So, in terms of I1 naman, pag hindi ka pa rin naniniwala sa I1 natin, which is, nag-KCL tayo sa ating node A, pwede ka mag-KCL ulit dito sa ating node na to, which I may call it as my node F. Okay, so papansin mo, pasok yung 10, papasok din yung negative 1, pasok yung I1, so I1 plus 10 plus negative 1 equals 0, which will give me I1 is equal to 10 minus 1 is 9, transpose natin, which is equal to negative 9, which will give you similar answer with this. Okay, so ganoon lang yung ating KCL and KVL. Okay, so next, dito naman tayo sa determine the number of branches and nodes in the circuit. So napakadali lang yan. Pag sinasabi nating number of branch, automatically kung ilan yung element na nasa circuit natin. It's either passive or active element. So from here, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 branches. Okay. bilangin natin kung ilang yung nodes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Okay? Next, bilangin natin kung ilan yung loop. Meron tayong 3. Okay? So, these are the answer. Next, in the circuit, obtain V1, V2, and V3. Okay. So, V1, V2, and V3. So, ngayon, ang gagamitin natin dito, syempre mga KVL lang to. So, pag sinabi natin KVL, it is about the voltage in the loop. Okay? So, first, ano ba yung pwede natin solve dito agad? We have our V1, and V3, and V2. So, first things first, ang pinakamagandang atakihin is itong V2 natin. So, if I will have a KVL, so, lagyan natin 1, 2, 3. So, KVL at loop 2. So, pag sinabi natin KVL at loop 2, dito tayo. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin KVL, pag ikot, so, tignan natin kung saan pupunta yung ikutan natin. So, yung arrowhead natin, papasok sa negative 40. And then, papasok sa positive 20. And then, papasok sa negative V2. Equals 0. From here, pwede kong sabihin that my V2 is equal to negative 40 plus 20, which is equal to negative 20. This is my V2. Okay? Next. Dito tayo sa ating V1. Para ba natin solve tong V1 natin? So, mag-loop lang tayo sa loop 1. So, solving for V1. So, I will have my loop at V1 dito. So, mapapansin mo yung arrowhead natin papasok sa negative 40, papasok sa negative 60, papasok sa positive 40, and then papasok sa V1 equals 0. So, from here, I will have negative 40 plus 40 is 0. So, therefore, V1 is equal to 60. So, try natin yung i-verify sa ating calculator. We have negative 40 plus negative 60. So, less 60 lang tayo. Less 60 plus 40. Okay? This is negative 60 plus V1. Transpose natin, magiging positive 60 volts. Next, yung ating V3, napakadali niyan. Marami tayong option dyan. So, pwede ko siyang kunin. So, dito sa option na to. So, solving for V3. Dito tayo mag-loop. So, we have negative V1 plus V2 plus V3 equals 0. Meron tayong V2 which is equal to negative 20. May V1 tayo which is equal to negative V1 which is equal to 60. So, plus yung V3 natin equals 0. From here, I will have my V3 equals 80 volts. Okay? So, negative 60 less 20 is negative 80. Transpose natin maging positive 80. Or, pwede natin gawin, mag-super loop tayo. Ito lang. Okay? So, we have negative 40 at super loop. At super loop. We have our negative 40 less 60 plus 40. Okay? Plus 40 plus V2 which is equal to negative 20 plus negative 20 plus V3 equals 0. Okay? So, equals 0. From here, I will have negative 80 plus V3 equals 0. So, V3 is still equal to positive 80 volts. Okay? Next, dito tayo sa circuit na to. In the circuit, find V1 and V2. Napakadali ulit nito. So, this is bonus point. So, gagawin lang natin, mag-KVL tayo. we have our negative V1. Okay, loop 1, loop 2. So KVL at loop 1, we have negative V1 plus 8 plus 10, diba? Negative plus 8 plus 10, which is equal to 0. So therefore V1 is equal to 18. Okay. Next, dito ulit tayo. KVL at loop 2. We have positive V2 less 10 plus negative 7 volts, no, equals 0, which will give us V2 is equal to negative 10 plus negative 7 is negative 17. Transpose natin maging positive 17. Okay, next, determine VO. Yan. So determine VO daw. Okay, so mapapansin mo, first identify mo kung anong klaseng circuit yan. Yung VO is dependent loop sa gitna, wherein meron tayong 15 and 25 ohm. Okay, so first things first, bago natin masolve yung VO, kunin muna natin yung I or yung current. Okay, so lalagay ko dito solving for current, solving for I. Okay, let's say yung I is dito yung direction natin. Okay, solving for I total na lang. Okay, so ang gagawin natin dito, mag-loop lang tayo. Okay, take note na pag walang given na polarity yung ating resistor, it is always positive. The current will always enter to the positive side because the resistor will always absorb power. Okay, so ang gagawin natin dito, I will have negative 10 volts plus, let's say I will have my V15 ohm and my V25 ohm. So taking note that this is positive terminal and this is our negative terminal. Okay, so from that I will have negative 10 plus V15 ohm plus V25 ohm plus 25 volts equals 0. Okay, but what is our V15? Take note that our V15 is equal to 15 ohms multiplied by the current entering to the 15 ohm resistor, which is equal to our I total. And our V25, of course, is equal to 25 ohm multiplied by the current entering to our 25 ohm resistor, which is equal to I total. Simply substitute natin to dito. I will have negative 10 plus 15 I total plus 25 I total plus 25 equals 0. So from here, I will have 15 plus 25. So 15 plus 25 is 40, right? 15 plus 25. Split. So meron tayong 40 I total. Negative 10 plus 15 is equal to negative 10 plus 25 is 15. Negative 10 plus 25 is equal to, okay, wala tayo. So plus 25 is equal to 15. So plus 15 equals 0. Okay, so from here I will have a value equal to, so negative 10 plus 25 is equal to 15 plus 15 plus 25, which is equal to 40. So therefore our I total is equal to negative 15 all over 40, which is equal to negative 15 over 40, negative 0.375 ampere. So ngayon, meron na tayong ganyan. Pwede nating solve yung VO. What is our VO? So solving for VO, may dalawang paraan. It's either mag-KVL tayo dito or mag-KVL tayo dito, which is parehas laman. Okay, so from that, my path will be, ito muna tayo. So I will have my negative 10 volts plus my V15 ohm plus VO equals 0. So take note that I will have negative 10 plus V15 plus VO. Take note ito, no? Wala lang yan. Label. Okay? So, negative 10 plus V15 plus VO. So, ano yung V15 natin? So, V15 is simply equal to 15 multiplied by negative 0.375. Right? So, from here, I will have negative 10 plus 15 multiplied by negative 0.375 plus VO. So, meron tayong VO equal to. So, you have negative 10 plus 15 multiplied by negative 0.375, which will lead to negative 15.625. Then transpose natin, so meron tayong positive 15.625. okay, i-verify natin yung VO. If I would have, or I will create KVL here. Okay, so let's say 1, 2. So KVL at loop 2 at dependent loop 2, which is yung ating negative VO plus V25 ohm plus 25 volts equals 0. So mapapansin mo yung VO natin negative, so papositive natin yan. So VO is equal to V25, which is 25 multiplied by negative 0.375. So from here I will have 25 multiplied by negative 0.375 plus 25, which will lead to, so dito natin gawin 25 multiplied by negative 0.375 plus 25. Okay, we will have a value equal to 15.625, which is equal to our VO. Right? So yan. Next naman tayo. Dito tayo. Okay. From the circuit, find I if the power dissipated in the resistor and the power supplied by from the circuit in the figure 2.83, find I the power dissipated by the resistor and the power supplied by its source. Okay. Ngayon, anong gagawin natin dito? So we have three sources. We have 10, 20, and negative 8, and we have over 3. So probably this is positive side and negative side kasi walang given, or I will call this as my V3 ohm. So from here, ang gagawin ko lang is maglo-loop. Okay? So from here, I will have negative 20 plus 10 plus V3 less, pumasok sa negative 8 equals 0. So from here I will have negative 20 plus 10 plus 8 plus V3 equals 0. So from here, gawin natin negative 20 plus 10 plus 8. Okay, so we have negative 2 plus V3 equals 0. So therefore my V3 is equal to 2 volts. But what is my I? Okay, so solving for I, so solving for V3 muna to. Solving for I, ang gagawin natin dito, since may 2 volts tayo dito, we all know that V is equal to IR. Same as V3 is equal to I3 R3, wherein yung R3 natin is equal to 3 ohm. Yung I3 natin is unknown, or I, which is equal to our V3, which is equal to 2 volts. So therefore our I3 is equal to 2 all over 3. Okay, so 2 over 3, that is our I3, or our I total. So from the circuit, find I, meron tayong I, which is this one, 2/3. So yung 2/3 natin, so 2 divided by 3 is equal to 0.667 ampere. Next, yung power dissipated by the resistor. So power at the resistor or power at 3 ohm. So solving for P 3 ohm. Lagay natin dito. So, ano ba yung power ng P 3 ohm natin? We'll know that power is equal to I squared R or V squared R. So from here, I will have my I squared R, which is equal to 2/3 square multiplied by 3, which must be equal to our V squared R, which is equal to 2 square, okay, 2 square all over 3, which is equal to, so mapapansin mo, kakancel yung isang 3, may matitira isang 3, so therefore we have 4/3. Ganun lang din dito. So therefore our power is equal to 4/3, which is equal to 1.33 watts or 1.33 watts. This is our power. Next, find the power supplied by each source. So yung power supplied by each source, depende yan kung saan papasok yung ating current. Okay? So first, yung current natin is 2/3. Okay? So first, at 8 volts. Power of each source. So palitan natin yung kulay. Okay? So first, dito tayo sa ating at 8 volts. P negative 8 volts, which is equal to, take note, yung I natin pumasok sa negative. So I will have I multiplied by negative ng ating 8 volts. So negative of our negative 8 volts, which is equal to 2/3 multiplied by negative 8 volts, so positive 8, which is equal to 2/3 multiplied by 8, which is equal to 16/3. Next, dito sa ating 20 volts. So take note na yung I mo pumasok sa negative, sa negative side ng 20 volts. So P 20 volts is equal to 20 or negative 20 multiplied by 2/3, which is equal to 20 multiplied by 2/3. So take note, this is negative. So we have negative 13.33 watts. And then lastly, papasok sa positive value ng ating 10 volts. So P10 is equal to 10 multiplied by 2/3, which is equal to 20/3. Ngayon, kailangan natin, pag pinag-add natin to, yung summation is equal to 0. Okay? So first, i-add natin yung ating 16/3. 16/3 positive plus 20/3 to verify lang, plus 40/3 negative, no? So negative, kasi pumasok sa negative 20 volts, so negative 40/3. Uy, negative 40/3 plus yung power ng ating 4/3, which is equal to positive 4/3. It must be equal to 0. Okay, so therefore summation of P is equal to 0, meaning lahat ng nakuha natin are correct. So they are all in watts. Okay, so these are our solution for your quiz. So pag may mga tanong kayo, just feel free to ask. Thank you and good day, guys.